We wanted to tell the story of what actually happened to plastic once it gets thrown in the trash.
The recycling system that's been sold to Americans, to all of these Western consumers, it's a broken system.
Our main innovation for the series was the use of digital trackers to actually follow plastic around the world.
It started in ordinary American homes where people thought that they were recycling their plastic.
Once you throw plastic away, it goes into this netherworld of contractors and exporters. We kind of watched in amazement as our trackers took these journeys of thousands of miles.
This field of plastic is right behind a village. There are children playing nearby. We've walked through it, and surprisingly, most of this plastic comes from overseas, mostly from the US and Canada.
An incredible journey, really, for a simple plastic wrapper that should really be being recycled pretty close to the place where it's thrown away.
Vimla Devi is a longtime resident who's developed health problems in the last few years because of pollution from burning plastic.
अब हमारा तो चलना है, हमारी तो उम्र होगी, अब बच्चे ही हैं अभी तो इनकी पता नहीं बेचारों का एक जिंदगी इन्हें भी ठीक रहना चाहिए.
Corporations know people are worried about plastic filling up our oceans and choking our marine life. We know it's showing up in human breast milk and human blood.
A lot of the messaging comes from the entities that profit from selling plastic or from processing it.
The entire industry is now geared around trying to get us to pretend that we can recycle it. It turns out it's not that easy.
The huge recycling plants, they're not really designed and set up to weed out this kind of plastic. And in fact, if a facility often recycles paper, this kind of plastic will easily also be captured as well. Even though India has banned the import of plastic waste, hundreds of thousands of tons of plastic waste still gets to India annually because India's paper mills are importing what they think is recycled paper. They don't have the infrastructure to even deal with their own plastic waste, let alone hundreds of thousands of tons of plastic waste from places like the US and Canada.
I think success is nudging the conversation. The reality is that the companies that sell plastic and make billions of dollars from doing so are not going to change their behavior unless there is pressure from their customers or pressure from governments.
The majority of plastic is not recycled at all. It either ends up in landfills, it gets burnt, it ends up in the oceans. And I think once people really connect with that, then you start to really make positive choices, hopefully choices that change your use of plastic.